Welcome to our channel. Today re-diving into the world of rare valuable, we embark on a journey through American history seen through one of its smallest but most enduring symbols of liberty, the dime. From the post-war 1950s to the end of the 20th century, we follow the story of the Roosevelt dime. 5 select years: 1958, 1967, 1968, 1988, and 1997. Each coin tells a story not just of currency, but of American values, innovation, and resilience. Introduced in 1946, just 1 year after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the Roosevelt dime was designed to honor his legacy and his pivotal role in founding the March of Dimes to combat polio. The 1988 Liberty Dime, more accurately, the 1988 Roosevelt dime. Small in size, vast in meaning. Minted in the twilight of the Cold War, in the final year of the Reagan era. The 1988 dime reflects the evolution of both a nation and its coinage. The Roosevelt dime was first issued in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the only U.S. president elected to 4 terms, and a leader who guided America through the Great Depression and World War II. He was also the founder of the March of Dimes, originally aimed at combating polio, a disease Roosevelt himself battled throughout his life. It was only fitting that his face would grace the 10-cent piece. Obverse front, portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, facing left, inscription, Liberty, in God We Trust, the year 1988, and the designer's initials JS for John R. Sinek. Reverse back, a torch symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch piece on the left and an oak branch strength on the right. Inscriptions: United States of America, E pluribus unum, and 1 dime. The coin's symbolism speaks to the values Roosevelt held dear: peace, liberty, unity, and strength. In 1988, the Roosevelt dime was minted in 3 major locations: Philadelphia Mint P, Mint Mark P, mintage 1,030,974,000; Denver Mint D, Mint Mark D, mintage 942,810,000; San Francisco Mint S, Mint Mark S, proof only, mintage 3,262,948, proof. Coins only. That's more than 1.97 billion dimes minted in a single year, enough for every person on Earth to hold one. Most of these dimes circulated widely, but a fraction, those with the S mint mark, were struck in proof condition, tended not for commerce, but for collectors. To understand the 1988 dime, we must understand America in 1988. It was a year of transition. Ronald Reagan was completing his 2nd term, and George H.W. Bush would soon become president. The Cold War was cooling. The Berlin Wall still stood, but not for long. Technology was on the rise. Cell phones, personal computers, and the internet were on the horizon. And economically, the US was booming after the downturns of the early 1980s. The Soviet Union began withdrawing from Afghanistan. NASA returned to spaceflight after the Challenger disaster. The compact disc surpassed vinyl records in sales. Michael Jordan became the NBA MVP. Most 1988 Roosevelt dimes saw heavy circulation. There were pocket change, lunch money, tokens in phone booth, utilitarian object used daily by millions, clad composition, outer layers of 75% copper, 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core, weight 2.27 grams, diameter 17.91 millimeters, no silver content, heavily circulated, fine to very fine, face value 10 cents, extremely fine, XF $0.1025, about uncirculated O tilde 25 cents, $0.50. The high mintage makes circulated examples easy to find and their value remains close to face, but in uncirculated conditions, the story changes. Mint state grades, MS60, MS68, are available due to large mintages and collector preservation. MS65 gem, uncirculated, $1, $3, Ms. 6, 7 and above, high-end, $10, $30 plus, with full torch FT designation pushing higher, indicates sharply defined horizontal bands on the torch. Desirable among collectors for quality and strike precision. Deep cameo proofs with frosted devices and mirror-like fields. PF65, PF69, $1, $5, PF70, perfect proof, up to $20, $40 plus, especially with deep cameo designation. For collectors, the 1988 proof dime from San Francisco, with its sharp contrasts and unblemished surfaces, is a coveted example of US mint craftsmanship. 1988 P&D have no widely known major errors or rare varieties, but off-center strikes, die cracks, clipped planchets, double die obverse. Very rare for 1988. Look for sharp strikes with full torch definition and clean surfaces. Avoid coins with bag marks, haze, or weak torch details if collecting uncirculated examples. Today, the 1988 Roosevelt dime remains legal tender and in circulation, though few take time to appreciate it. It's a time capsule minted in a year when the world was shifting dramatically toward globalization, digitalization, and peace. The 1988 Liberty Dime isn't rare. It's not made of silver, but it's a monument to values that remain priceless: liberty, unity, peace, and strength. It's a coin that continues to do its job, quietly and reliably, just as Roosevelt once did in the face of enormous national trials. So next time you see that little silver coin with Roosevelt's profile pose, you're holding a fragment of history in your hand. Fade to black with the sound of coins clinking gently. Featured date 1988 design series Roosevelt Dime. Designer John R. Cynic reverse symbolism Liberty Torch, Olive Branch, Oak Branch, Minspy Philadelphia, D Denver. S. San Francisco metal composition copper-nickel clad total mintage 1.98 billion circulated value 10 cents face uncirculated value $1 $10 depending on grade and strike proof value $1 $30 plus deep cameo PF70. The next step 1997 Roosevelt Dime, known to many as the Liberty Dime, remained a trusted symbol of small change and national heritage. This is the story of the 1997 dime, a modern coin rooted in mid-century ideals. The Roosevelt dime was first issued in 1946, 1 year after the death of President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. He had led the United States through the Great Depression and World War II and was an ardent supporter of the March of Dimes, a national campaign to fight polio. Replacing the beloved Mercury Dime, the Roosevelt Dime honored a president and a cause that transformed the country. Designer John R. Cynic, chief engraver of the U.S. Mint portrait of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, facing left inscriptions, Liberty, In God We Trust, 1997, and designer's initials J.S. Central Torch Liberty Olive Branch Peace, Oak Branch Strength inscriptions United States of America. E pluribus unum, one dime even after 51 years. The Roosevelt dime design remained unchanged in 1997. In its consistency, it reflected the nation's enduring values, liberty, unity, peace, and resilience. By 1997, the U.S. Mint operated 3 major facilities involved in dime production: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Mintage, 1,228,620,000 mint mark P appears to the right of Roosevelt's neck. Mintage, 673,400,000 mint mark D also to the right of Roosevelt's neck. Mintage, 2,055,000 proof, only these were not circulated, made for collectors in proof sets between the 2 business strike mints. Over 1.9 billion dimes were produced for general use in 1997. San Francisco's proofs crafted with mirrored fields and frosted details were the crown jewels of that year's production, reserved for collectors. Composition: copper-nickel clad outer layers, 75% copper, 25% nickel core, 100% copper, no silver content. Weight: 2.27 grams. Diameter: 17.91 millimeters. Thickness: 1.35 millimeters. Edge: reeded 118. Reed since 1965. Dimes have been clad in base metals more durable and cost-effective than silver. The 1997 dime followed this formula, built to last and easy to mint in massive quantities. The United States in 1997 stood on the threshold of the 21st century. The Cold War was over, the dot-com boom was underway, and a spirit of innovation defined the culture. Yet, even as society evolved, the Roosevelt dime remained a familiar touchstone of physical currency. Bill Clinton begins his second term as President. Steve Jobs returns to Apple. Launching a tech revolution. Titanic dominates the box office. Princess Diana tragically dies in a car crash. Sparking global mourning, the internet rapidly expands into homes in an increasingly digital world. The humble dime still played its part, buying a gumball, feeding a payphone, or sitting at the bottom of a coin jar, unnoticed but essential. The 1997 dime is modern, abundant, and still regularly found in everyday circulation. As such, it holds little monetary value above its face value in worn condition. Great approx value: good G for 10 cents, face value fine F12 $0, 10 extremely fine, XF 40 10 cents 15 cents about, uncirculated a U50 15 cents 25 cents because of the high mintage and durable materials. Circulated examples are everywhere. Their value lies in function, not rarity. Where the 1997 dime shines literally and figuratively in incirculated or mint state MS condition, these coins, kept out of circulation, retain their full luster and original detail. Grade value range: MES $60, $0.251, OOMs 65 gem $3, $8 Ms $67, $15 $30, plus MS 68 high-end $75, $150 plus for top pop coins with full strike and luster. Some collectors focus on the reverse torch. If all the horizontal lines of the torch's central bands are fully struck, the coin may receive a full band's FB designation, a mark of sharp detail and superior strike. Ms 67 FB $40, $100 plus MS 68 FB $150, $250 rare. Premium: the San Francisco Mint produced the 1997 proof Roosevelt dime exclusively for collectors. These are not meant for circulation and feature mirrored fields with frosted designs. Grade value range PR65 PR68 $1.50, $3, OO PR69 deep cameo $5, $15 PR70 DCAM, $30 $150 plus. Rare and desirable collector tip, PR70 deep cameo examples are often submitted to grading services like PCGs or NGC and command high premiums due to their perfect preservation. Although 1997 wasn't a particularly error-prone year, modern minting isn't perfect. Collectors still seek out examples with striking mistakes. Off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, strike throws, double dies. Very rare collector. Advice: inspect coins under magnification. Look for bold mint marks, sharp torch detail, and clean fields. Keep high-grade rolls from original bank-wrapped boxes OBWs. Finding a 1997 Roosevelt dime is easy. Finding a pristine example with full bands or deep cameo contrast, that's the hunt. Loose change coin roll hunting. U.S. Mint proof sets for S-dimes. Online marketplaces and auctions. Local coin shops or coin shows. Feature description. Official name: 1997 Roosevelt Dimmer composition. Panicle clad diameter 17.91 ohms. Philadelphia P. Denver D. San Francisco is proof only. Mintage or mints over 1.9 billion, including 2M proofs. Designer John R. Sin. In the bustling heart of America's post-war economy, coins were more than currency. They were cultural markers, snapshots of the times. One of the most modest, yet enduring examples is the 1968 Roosevelt dime, often colloquially called the Liberty Dime. This small, silver-colored disc tells a big story, a story of change, restoration, and national identity. First issued in 1946, the Roosevelt dime was created to honor President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who led the nation through the Great Depression and World War II. Roosevelt also championed the March of Dimes campaign to fight polio, making the 10-cent coin a fitting tribute. Designer John R. Sinnock, chief engraver of the U.S. Mint portrait of Roosevelt facing left. Inscriptions: Liberty, in God We Trust, 1968. And initials JS. Central torch, Liberty olive branch, peace on the left, oak branch, strength. On the right, inscriptions: United States of America, e pluribus unum, and one dime, elegant yet simple. The Roosevelt dime remained visually unchanged since 1946, but beneath its surface, the 1968 issue introduced a return to a detailed one that collectors had long awaited. In 1965, during a nationwide coin shortage, the U.S. Mint stopped using mint marks altogether to discourage hoarding. For 3 years, 1965, 1966, and 1967, all coins bore no mint marks, but in 1968, mint marks returned. This meant, for the first time since 1964, collectors could again distinguish between coins struck in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, a turning point for new mintage included under Denver totals or lost to time due to resumed min-marking. Mintage: 480,748,280. Location: Denver, Colorado. Easily found in circulation today. Mintage: 3,041,506. Proof coins. Location: San Francisco, California. Mirror-like finish for collectors only, not intended for circulation. The DNS mint marks Dini letters near the base of the torch once again allowed Americans to see where their coins were born. Composition: copper nickel clad outer layers, 75% copper, 25% nickel core, pure copper. Weight: 2.27 grams. Diameter: 17.91 millimeters. Edge reeded. Unlike the dimes of previous decades, which contained 90% silver, the 1968 Roosevelt dime was part of the modern clad era, more durable, less precious, and more economical to produce. The year 1968 was a crucible of history. The nation was shaken by political assassinations, civil rights unrest, and war abroad. And yet, even in the mundane exchange of coins, history was made. Assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Robert F. Kennedy, Vietnam War and the Tet Offensive, civil rights protests and urban unrest, launch of Apollo 7, setting the stage for the moon landing, Richard Nixon elected president. Amid all this, the Roosevelt dime circulated in diners, phone booths, and vending machines, quietly witnessing the drama of a turbulent nation. Because the 1968 dime is a high mintage non-silver coin, most examples found today are worn and hold primarily face value. Great approx value: good G for 10 cents, face value fine F12 10 cents, $0, 15 very fine VF $20, $0.150, 25 extremely fine, XF 40 25 cents, 35 cents in mint state condition. The 1968 dime begins to show collector appeal, especially those with sharp strikes and clean surfaces. Grade approx value Ms $60, $0.501, OOMs $63 $1, $2 Ms $65 $4, $10 Ms $67 $25, $60 plus MS 67 full bands FB $100, $300 plus. Note: Full bands refers to full horizontal lines on the torch reverse. This is a sign of a strong high-quality strike and is more desirable among collectors. In 1968, proof coins returned as well struck only at the San Francisco Mint. These dimes feature sharp detail, mirror-like fields, and frosted devices. Great approx value PR6 $5 $1.503, OOPR6 $7 for $6, PR6 9 deep cameo DCAM $20, $40 plus PR70. DCM rare can reach $200 plus in auctions. The 1968 dime does not have major known varieties, but errors can occur and are sought after by error collectors. Potential errors: off-center strikes, double dies, rare die cracks, clipped planchettes, misaligned dies, collector tip. Look for sharp strike definition, especially in the torch bands. Dimes with full bands designation are significantly more valuable in high grades. Though over half a century old, the 1968 Roosevelt dime still appears in circulation. Its durability and sheer volume ensure its survival. Loose change, old coin jars, coin roll, hunting, collector shows, and online marketplaces. Estate sales and junk silver lots, though not silver. Feature description says Roosevelt demo, clad no silver weight, 2.27 Gemmet marks D Denver. S-proof only. Total mintage 484 million D. 3 million S-proof. Circulated value 10 cents, $0. 30 Ms. 67 FB value $100 plus PR69 DCAM value $20, $50 plus. Designer John R. Sinica Jareded. Though it bears no silver, no exceptional rarity, the 1968 Liberty dime represents something greater. It stands as a turning point, a return to mint marks, the reintroduction of proofs, and a reaffirmation of the public's trust in coins. It is both humble and historic, a tiny metal witness to one of the most explosive years in American memory. It weighs just a few grams. It shines with the faint gleam of history. It bears the name of a president and the spirit of a nation. This is the story of the 1967 Liberty Dime, a transitional coin forged during a time of great change. No mint, no silver, and yet a piece of American resilience and adaptation. The Roosevelt dime was first minted in 1946, just months after the death of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. It replaced the iconic Mercury Dime and was designed to honor Roosevelt's leadership during the Great Depression and World War II and his fight against polio through the March of Dimes campaign. Designer John R. Sinica, U.S. Mint chief engraver. Portrait of Roosevelt facing left. Inscriptions: Liberty, in God We Trust, 1967. And designer's initials: JS. Torch of Liberty, olive branch of peace, oak branch of strength. Inscriptions: United States of America, E pluribus unum. 1 dime. The design remained unchanged from 1946, but in 1967 the dime was no longer a silver coin. It was a product of change in both material and monetary policy. To understand the 1967 dime, we must step back 2 years. In 1965, the United States faced a coin shortage. Rising silver prices made coins more valuable as metal than as money. People hoarded dimes, quarters, and half dollars. In response, Congress passed the Coinage Act of 1965, eliminating silver from the dime and quarter. Thus, by 1967, the Roosevelt dime was no longer 90% silver, but rather a copper-nickel-clad coin. Composition: outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. Weight: 2.27 grams. Diameter: 17.91 millimeters. Edge: reeded mint marks. None. See below. Though its face remained the same, the 1967 dime was fundamentally different from its predecessors. Its soul, once silver, was now industrial. No mint marks were used in 1965, 1966, or 1967. This was part of a temporary measure by the U.S. Mint to discourage coin hoarding and speculation during the transition away from silver. Philadelphia, Mint Denver, Mint San Francisco ASA office. However, all 1967 dimes appear identical. No PD or S mint marks, so we cannot determine their exact place of origin. Estimated at over 2.24 billion dimes, the year 1967 saw one of the highest dime productions in U.S. history, a massive effort to keep coins in circulation. Amid a public unsure about this new silverless currency, the United States in 1967 was a nation at a crossroads. The Vietnam War raged on. Anti-war protests filled the streets. The civil rights movement sought equality and justice. Cultural revolution was brewing in music, art, and youth identity. It was a time of turbulence, but also a time of transformation. Summer of Love begins in San Francisco. Thurgood Marshall nominated to the Supreme Court. First Super Bowl held. Anti-war demonstrations spread nationwide. The dime minted this year passed from hand to hand through a country divided by war but united by democratic ideals and economic strength. The 1967 Roosevelt dime is still found in circulation today. It is extremely common and widely available in use condition. Good to very fine G4 VF35, 10 cents face value. Extremely fine XF tilde, $0.1020 cents. About uncirculated O tilde, 25 cents because of its high mintage and lack of silver. 1967 dimes in circulated condition have little to no numismatic value unless they have dramatic errors. Though no traditional proof sets were issued in 1967, the U.S. Mint did release special mint sets SMS from 1965 to 1967 in lieu of proof and uncirculated sets. These included higher quality examples of each denomination, struck with more care than business strikes, have a satin or semi-proof-like finish, graded as SP specimen coins by third-party services. SP65, $2, $5, SP67, $8, $20, SP68, $25, $50 plus SP69, $100 plus. Very rare SMS dimes from 1967 offer collectors a middle ground between circulated coins and foolproof quality, valued more for condition and finish than scarcity. Most 1967 dimes are standard, but a few escape the mint with mistakes, making them prized by collectors of U.S. errors. Notable errors: clipped planchets, double strikes, die cracks, off-center strikes, misaligned dies, minor errors. $5, $20 major errors, for example, 50% off-center, $50, $200 collector tip. Always inspect your 1967 dimes with a magnifier. Some SMS coins may also show unusual die polishing or mechanical doubling. The 1967 Liberty dime is often overlooked. It has no silver, no mint mark, no rarities in the traditional sense. And yet, it's a relic of a turning point, a symbol of American economic adaptation and trust in its monetary system. Feature details year 1967 series Roosevelt, Dime composition per nickel-clad mintage, 2.24 billion mint marks, and as per 1965-67 policy silver content non-circulated value 10 cents, $0 to 5 SMS value, SP68 plus $20, $100 plus. Notable varieties: mostly mint errors. Coins are more than currency. They're chronologies of culture, of policy, of progress. The 1967 Liberty dime may lack flash and silver, but it holds something even greater: context. It is a coin of transition, struck in an era that redefined America. Next time you see that small dime with Roosevelt's profile, remember it's not just a coin, it's history you can hold. Fade out with the clink of dimes spilling across a wooden table.